Imagine a world without goodbyes. A world where, when someone you loved drew their last breath, their body was simply left to the elements, to the scavengers, to be forgotten. This was the reality for our earliest ancestors. For millions of years, death was just an end, a disappearance. But then, something profound shifted in the human heart. When the first body fell, humans didn't just walk away, they remembered. This is the story of how death became sacred. How we, as a species, learned to honor our dead, and in doing so, discovered a deeper meaning to life itself. Before rituals, before graves, before even the idea of a soul, there was observation. Early humans were astute observers of the world around them. They saw the great elephants standing vigil over a fallen member of their herd, gently touching the body with their trunks. They witnessed primates grooming their dead, seemingly unwilling to let go. In the raw, instinctual grief of the animal kingdom, our ancestors saw a reflection of their own burgeoning emotions. A seed was planted. Loss wasn't just an absence, it was a feeling, a heavy, aching void, and this feeling demanded an action. So they began to experiment. It wasn't a grand, organized ceremony at first. It was a simple, heartfelt gesture. A grieving mother might cover her lost child with a blanket of soft leaves. A hunting party, mourning a fallen brother, might place heavy stones over his body, not just to protect him from scavengers, but as a marker, a way of saying, he was here. He mattered. They gathered the brightest flowers from the plains and the most unusual shells from the riverbeds, placing them with the departed. These weren't just random objects. They were offerings. They were the first love letters to the afterlife, written in a language of color and texture. Each gesture was a question. Is this how we remember? Is this how we say goodbye? But this new path was not without its harsh lessons. In some cases, bodies left too close to the settlement, even if covered, brought sickness. The harsh reality of decay was a brutal teacher. Neglect led to disease and despair, a constant, grim reminder of mortality. Yet, where there was care, something else blossomed. The act of burial, of creating a dedicated space for the dead, brought a strange sense of peace. The community could grieve together, share stories, and find comfort in the shared ritual. They realized that tending to the dead was also a way of tending to the living. It wasn't just about hygiene. It was about healing the wound that loss had carved into the heart of the tribe. The physical act of digging, covering, and marking a grave provided a focus for their grief, a final act of service for someone they loved. Slowly, over thousands of years, these scattered experiments solidified into tradition. Burial became a cornerstone of human culture. Skeletons from this era have been found carefully placed in fetal positions, as if sleeping or waiting to be reborn. They were adorned with beads, tools, and weapons, provisions for a journey we were only just beginning to imagine. In the Shanidar cave in modern-day Iraq, a Neanderthal was laid to rest on a bed of wildflowers nearly 60,000 years ago. This wasn't just disposal. This was a ceremony. This was the birth of respect that transcended life itself. The grave became more than just a hole in the ground. It became a sacred space, the first temple. It was a testament to the belief that a person's story did untend with their last breath. And here lies the profound truth our Stone Age ancestors stumbled upon. In the face of death's finality, they chose not to turn away. They chose to honor it, to face it with courage, love, and creativity. They built monuments of stone and memory, and in doing so, they weren't just burying bodies. They were elevating their own existence. They were declaring that a life lived had meaning, a meaning that even death could not erase. It was in honoring death that humans truly learned the meaning of life. The act of remembering the dead taught us the importance of cherishing the living. By creating a space for the departed, we carved out a new space within ourselves for legacy, for spirit, for the enduring power of love. The grave became the cradle of the soul. But this raised a monumental new question. If a person is more than just their body, where do they go? This question would ignite the next great leap in human consciousness. Join us next time as we explore how the mystery of the soul gave birth to belief, to shamans, and to the first gods. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next step in the incredible story of human survival. We'll see you then.